Morning students of class 8. Today we are going to read the very important topic of the chapter 2, that is growth of nationalism, and our today's topic is the French Revolution that took place between 1789 to 1990. Okay, so we all know that French Revolution marked the very important event of world history. The French Revolution actually gave the idea of nation and nationalism to the world. It was this revolution which actually gave the concept of democracy to the world. Yes, and we are going to discuss about this very important topic today. As students, we all know that for any kind of revolt, definitely in the background there are several reasons, causes for this. Okay, so for the French Revolution, actually there were three important causes: the political cause, then social cause, and then economic cause. Okay, and in the beginning of 18th century, France was a monarchy which was ruled by an autocratic king. Yes, and the ruler was Louis XVI. Okay, so hence we can say that the political cause for the French Revolution was the monarch, the rule of a king. Okay, and we all know the difference between monarch and democracy. Yes, in democracy there is rule of people. We people are granted rights. Okay, but in monarchy there is a rule of just one person. Okay, and in monarchy people, the subjects were not given any kind of rights. Yes, the words of a ruler at that time used to become the law. Okay, and it was the wish of the ruler that in which way the ruler wanted to treat with its different kind of citizens. Okay, so there was not just one uniform laws for the entire people of France, we can say. Okay, the people were treated differently. Yes, but in democracy we all know there is rule of law, there is constitution, and all the people including government are also supposed to abide by the rule of the constitution. Okay, so that is the difference between monarch and a democracy. Okay, there is no freedom in monarch, but in democracy we enjoy certain freedoms. Yes, there is no equality in monarch, but in democracy everyone is treated equally. There are many differences between monarchical form of government and democratic form of government. Okay, the dignity of the people, which is very important, which was not granted by the monarch, but dignity is assured in democracy to every people. Yes, so we can just say that due to monarchical form of government and due to the problems that we just discussed, that what people face the problems in monarchy actually became the political cause for the revolt. Yes, because people were not having any kind of right and freedom, no equality. Yes, they were just treated differently. Yes, so these were the causes actually which became finally the political cause for the French Revolution. Yes, next, social cause. It is very important. Social cause. The French society was divided into three states. It means three classes. The first state, the first class consisted of clergy, the priests, we can say. And the priests, the clergy had many privileges at that time. They could extract taxes from common people, yes, and they were just very powerful at that time, okay, because in the social hierarchy, the first state, the first class, the clergy group, priest stood at the top, yes. The second state, the second class was consisted of nobility, of landlords, we can say, yes, and like priests, like clergy, the second state also enjoyed at that time a lot of privileges. Okay, they were also entitled to collect taxes from the peasants. Okay, and they were also not supposed to give any kind of taxes. Yes, so first and second state, they had many privileges. Yes, and they were not supposed to pay any kind of taxes to the ruler. Okay, the third state actually, which was made up of different communities like the businessmen, artisans, craftsmen, merchants, yes, and peasants and professionals like lawyers, teachers, doctors. Okay, so the rest, apart from clergy, that was in first state, then landlords, nobles, apart from these two, all the different sections of the society, we can say, they were considered the third state, the third class. Yes, and this state had no privileges. Okay, and they were actually overburdened with the taxes. Only the third state people were supposed to pay taxes to the, not only to the landlords, not only to the priests, but also to the rulers. So they had to pay taxes to second state, to the first state, and to the rulers. So in this way we can just understand that this was the social cause in which the third state were suffering a lot. Okay, and this became the social cause for the French Revolution. Okay, next, economic cause. Just we have discussed about the economic burden that was only on the third state. So side by side we have just discussed the economic cause also. Okay, and one more thing I would like to say, that was economic cause, that we have all read that France actually helped America for the revolution. Okay, and French helped in gaining independence for the American peoples from the clutches of the Britishers. Yes, so in this way we can say the France actually came into economic crisis, because at that time the ruler was engaged in different kinds of wars, and in wars we just understand how much money is spent. Okay, so this also became the economic cause. So we have, I think you people have just understood what were the different causes, political cause, social cause and economic cause, which became the factors for the rise of revolution in France. Yes. Now we are coming to very important topic, state general. Okay. In France, there was an assembly of the people, of the representatives of the people, that was called state general. Yes. So we can say it was just like a parliament, but not parliament, because at that time there was rule of king. Yes. So but at that time also there was an assembly, and that assembly was called state general. Yes. And every classes we have just discussed, the first state, second state, third state, they all actually the part of the state general. Their representatives were there in the state general. But between 1614 to 1789, in this year actually the revolt started. So between 1614 to 1789, the meeting was not called of state general. Okay, so we can just understand that it was for the just merely it was formed, but there was no just meeting of state general. It was just in for the sake of name. Yes. First time it was called, the meeting of state general was called in 1789. Yes. So Louis XVI actually called in 1789 the meeting of state general. Why? To increase taxes. Yes. Just we have discussed that France was in economic crisis due to war, heavy expenses in the war. Okay. And to meet the expenses of the state, the king needed money. Okay, because due to war, the France took loan from other countries. Okay, and the interests were also going up. Okay, so to pay the interest, to pay the loan, and to just manage all the affairs of the kingdom empire, Louis XVI badly needed of money, and that's why he called meeting just after 175 years, 1614 to 1789. The gap is 175. So after 175 years, first time in 1789, the meeting was called of state general, just to increase the taxes. And we have just discussed that only the third state were supposed to pay taxes. So earlier they were overburdened with the taxes. Again, these people had to pay taxes, and now they had to pay more taxes. Yes. So we can say that the state general became angry when this meeting, when the meeting of state general was called. Okay, and at that time there was system of voting like this, that first state just they were all the people, all the representatives of first state collectively there was just one vote. So first state one vote. For all the representatives of the second state, just one vote, and all the representatives of the third state, they also had just one vote. Okay. So if suppose the meeting of assembly, in the meeting of state general, these two upper classes, first state and the second state, there was unity, they had privilege. Okay, so and separate from them. So in voting, the majority will be definitely of the first state and second state, because these two were just same. So in the voting process, definitely the first and second state, their combined vote would be 2, and the vote of third state would be just 1. So in this way, with the ratio 2:1, we can just understand the king would be in the position to implement the increased taxes upon the third state. Yes. So in this way, we can just understand that though there were representation of these 3 states in the state general, but due to this kind of voting system, we can say the third state, they could never win, okay, and these two would always win. Yes. So that's why the King Louis XVI thought that it is the right time to just increase the taxes upon the third state. But when the meeting was called upon, the third state demanded that one person, one vote. Okay, and there were more people in third state as compared to first and second state. So if the king would accept the proposal of the third state that one person, one vote, and there were many persons in third state, and there were less representatives in the first and second states, in that case there would be chances of winning of the third state. Yes, but the king rejected the theory of one vote, one person. Yes, and that's why the third state just became angered, annoyed, dissatisfied when their demands were not met, and hence in 1789 the third state, which where actually the common people once again started revolt against the monarch, against the king, and in this way these all became the causes for the rise of revolution in France. Yes, so in this session we have just discussed that what were the causes, what were the reasons that actually started revolution in France, and in this way in 1789 French Revolution began. Okay, so I hope you will must have understood. In the next topic we will discuss the rest topics. Till then, thank you, goodbye.